Welcome back. We're here. It's been a while. And we're happy to be back. Southpaw, episode, I don't know, 13. Lucky 13. So let me go around. We got the band back together for you guys and start introducing who's here. Ladies and gentlemen, from the frozen tundra of Kentucky, Glendon Rush is here. What's going on, man?
Hello. Great to be here.
Howdy. From the unknown tundra of New York, Willie T. Ribs, Bill Pulsifer is here.
Strong Island, baby. How we doing?
Strong Island, baby. You got snow too or no?
Not yet. There might be some in the morning, but I think it doesn't snow here anymore. And if it does, it's gone within a day anyway. It seems
All
like.
right, you're good.
So far.
From sunny Northern California, Wayne Franklin is with us. What's happening, man?
Howdy,
I
guys.
like the Whitey Ford thing behind you.
Oh, yeah. Southpaws.
Very nice. Very nice. And last but not least, for now, I'm Budsman Jones from the Jersey Shore, Rocco Constantino. What's going on, my man? How are you?
Doing good. Freezing my ass off here.
Well,
Ready for spring, that's for sure. Good to be talking
tis the
baseball.
season.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Well, listen, guys, it's been way too long since we've done one of these. And allow me to be the first to tell you, holy shit, you guys have aged. Anyway.
And fat.
Oh, well, I mean, that's, tis the season for that too, man. I'm wearing sweat clothes.
Yeah.
I almost did it in a bathrobe, but I don't even know if that fits anymore.
You would drape yourself in velvet if it was acceptable.
That's exactly what I would have done.
Velvet? You said drape yourself in velvet?
Yeah.
It was acceptable.
That's beautiful. What is that? Velvet? We are missing one Will Omen, but I'm sure he'll be in here soon. So anyway, since you guys are here, how's everybody been? How's your off season been? Your holiday season? Go ahead. Talk some shit.
Who's up?
Wayne. Whoever.
I'll defer.
I figured. Yeah. All right. I don't know. Glendon, I'll start with you because you're next to me. Go ahead.
Okay. Off season, quote unquote, it's been great.
Yeah.
Got to get out on the baseball field with Pulse for a while down in Mets fantasy camp. That was a treat. Always a lot of fun. And then the last few weeks or month or so, we've just kind of been getting our pitchers ready at IU Southeast for their season starts quick in NAIA. They start up in basically the end of this month, first part of February. They're playing games, so they got to be ready here soon. So that's about it. Holidays were great. Spent a bunch of time with the family and can't complain. It was a great holiday season.
Excellent. That's good to hear. We're going to go around and go to Mr. Willie T. Ribs.
Yeah, man. Obviously, in the midst of the winter here now up north, which sucks. It's cold. We're, it says it feels like 20 outside right now, so it's not a lot of fun. But excited that the lesson season's kind of started up over here. So starting to get some of the younger kids ready for their spring seasons, giving lessons and working with those boys, which is always a lot of fun to see the young kids. Like Glendon said, did fantasy camp. First time I did 2 weeks down there, man. 2 weeks is a lot of watching horseshit baseball. But but always a blast. Got to week 3 this year. It was the first time they've done week 3 with Mets camp. So about 80 plus rookies down there, first time campers. So it was quite an experience to get to meet a bunch of new guys. But holidays were good. Looking forward to the spring, obviously, with the weather being so cold up here. But all is well.
Excellent. Wayne, you're back in California. How's that been?
It's a lot better. We're sitting low to mid 60s right now, sunny all day today.
Oh,
so
yeah, you're good.
Yeah, long fall. I guess since the last time we spoke, I've already made my move and everything, huh?
Yeah. Since we spoke on
before that
on here, yeah.
Yeah. So, long story short, I'm coaching in Baltimore at Coppin State University. So shout out to all the CSU Eagles. Yeah, I'm missing the freezing cold right now, and looking forward to going back to it in about a week. And we start up I think similar to what Glendon said. We our first practice is January 23rd again, and we start off the season versus Iona on
Okay.
Valentine's Day.
Nice.
Where at?
Oh,
Where you
wow.
playing up here?
We're playing at home.
Oof.
It's gonna be freezing there too.
It'll be cold. It'll be cold, but you know what? Deal with it.
That's it.
All right, there you go. There you go. And Rocco, how's everything going with you, man?
All
Since we
good.
last spoke.
Yeah, good Christmas. A lot of family stuff. I've been at work. We've been we're in the midst of basketball season here. Team's doing well. Men ranked in the country at Middlesex College.
Nice.
Nice stuff. Yeah, baseball practice starts up next week. I'll scout for Coppin. We'll see if there's any JUCO guys they run across that might be able to send your way.
Great.
Wayne. And yeah, then pretty much after that, just dodging drones up here, man, hoping to not get abducted or chemical sprayed or whatever the hell they're doing, or weapons. So just surviving here, man.
Nice. Are they still out there? Are they still flying around everywhere? in Georgia?
Some people claim that they're still seeing them, but
They
who the
made it
hell
out our
knows?
way finally.
They
Oh,
seem to have
nice.
been all over it.
They have been seeing them out here on Long Island now too.
Oh man.
But apparently nobody knows what they are. I don't believe that for a second. But that's
I
another
don't,
topic.
I don't either.
Well,
But there's something. They're there. They're not just airplanes
Right.
and bullshit.
people aren't
you know,
just making shit up. It's
No.
the military's base here confirmed it,
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. And
yeah.
anyway,
Well, yeah. Hey, look.
Hold on, let me grab my tinfoil hat before we carry
By all
on.
means. But well, things have been good here. The off season is nice. I needed it after being so lucky to go to Game 1 and Game 5 of that World Series as a Yankee fan. I never want to go to a World Series game again. So that was nice. But I'm glad that's over with. Christmas was great. Now I have a neighbor that is building basically a parking structure in my yard. So yeah, that's I need to get in touch with some of the people from the military base over here and see if they can fire an errant mortar or something like that. And I was out there last night till 9:30 blasting, playing bass and just annoying the shit out of them. So the feud has only begun, ladies and gentlemen.
Some regular Hatfields and McCoys going on over
there you
there.
go.
It's getting there. It's getting there. But in any case, let's get into a little off-season baseball stuff. Obviously, the Dodgers are loading up, signing everybody, which is great. I mean, their 40-man roster, they're going to have an all-star team in the minors at this rate. But I mean, I like to say every team can do it. But my question to you guys, is that true? Can every team do that? I'll start with you, Glendon, because you're right next to me.
Well, I think they're in a unique situation because they have a long-term, huge revenue stream of regional TV money that not everybody has access to anymore. As we've seen, a bunch of those regional sports networks have gone belly up, and MLB's had to take some of them over. So, in that respect, they're a little unique, but absolutely ridiculous that some of these teams, especially this offseason, I was reading some of them have spent $0 on the free agent market, which is ridiculous.
Marlins.
Even if you go out and use the lower tier parts of the market to improve your team or add veteran presence or experienced guys, whatever, you should be doing something. To do absolutely nothing is ridiculous in my mind.
Yeah. Bill, what are you thinking about that?
Well, I think as somebody that was a player for such a long time, you never wanted to hear anything about a salary cap or anything like that. And obviously the deferred money seems to be an issue that's coming up. And obviously I think these are things that would have to be gone through the Players Association to be agreed upon. But maybe there needs to be some kind of low cap, kind of like what Glendon's saying, where teams are spending nothing. Maybe you need to say you need to spend up to $150 million on your club, and then the top is $350 million or whatever number you want to pick, and you can't defer money. I think that might change things a little bit, because with the amount of money that the Dodgers, like Glendon said, through their TV rights and that, and then just their ownership group with the billions of dollars that they're worth, they can just keep doing this, because they're giving these teams to hedge fund guys now. They're just investing that money so they're not losing anything. They're not really ending up paying out with all this deferred money. But I don't know if it's good for baseball to have one team being able to go out there and obviously who doesn't want to play in LA? You know, if you get to go out there, why not? If they're going to be able to pay you 20 years from now and it doesn't come out of their pockets, why wouldn't you want to go play there?
The crazy part is the Dodgers probably made back all of Ohtani's contract in year one by winning a World Series,
by winning a World
franchise
Series.
value, everything that goes along with it. So, I mean, at the end of the day, like Pulse was saying, if you put business guys in charge of it, they're not stupid. They're not giving money away to lose it. They're making money. And
right.
Yeah, it's an investment, and their investment went up significantly by winning the World Series last year.
Yeah. And it just seems like everybody that they've signed this winter too, it's all been, again, you know, deferred money. That used to be like the rarity. Now it seems like it's the normal. It's norm. And I don't know how many teams can afford to do that, because everybody doesn't have the Mets money. Everybody doesn't have the Dodgers money. You know, even like nowadays, it seems like the Yankees are you know, they don't spend the money like they used to, relatively speaking. So it's something might have to be done, but the Players Association doesn't agree to any of that stuff. They don't want caps on either way.
Yeah, I mean, a salary floor makes the most sense.
I'd love a floor for sure.
I mean, you have to spend a little money. I mean, I can't imagine being a fan of the Marlins or the Pirates or you know, one of these teams. That's
why
miserable.
have a team? Why have a team?
What makes you watch? What would make you watch? Nothing.
It's miserable. You know, I mean, especially a team like the Pirates, where, you know, okay, I mean, now we're just counting down until when Paul Skeens and Jared Jones get traded, because you know they're not going to keep them.
They're not going to keep them.
You know, I mean, I do agree that there's, you know, a huge disparity there. Wayne, I'll go to you with the same question. You know, do you really think every team could do this if they wanted to, or does it need to be more of a destination like LA? Like, you know,
I hope not. I'd like to see more parity in the game. I mean, competition's good. Competition's good for the game in general. Yeah, I don't mind at all what the Dodgers are doing. You know, that feels like Steinbrenner's Yankees, George Steinbrenner's Yankees.
Yeah.
And you can't fault an owner for wanting to do that with the team. I have no problem. I mean, if you're willing to go put the money into, who are we to judge that? I mean, that's perfectly fine. Spending money's not a problem.
Yeah.
But I do like the idea of the floor, the minimum. That's a great idea.
Yeah, it seems to make the most sense. Rocco, I'll ask you, same question. You know, do you think Steve Cohen would try something like this? You know, I mean, or because it's not, you know, New York's a hell of a destination too. I mean, it's
I mean, I don't.
It ain't LA, but it is New York.
Yeah. I mean, San Diego would be the nicest place to play if I had a pick, but
stay classy.
I know. Yeah.
Right. Well, he has the capability of doing it. I'm not sure, you know, and if players are looking for that, he could meet that need for them. I'm not sure if that's something that he wants to do because he hasn't done it yet. And I agree with Wayne. I don't really have any issue with what the Dodgers are doing. You know, they're operating within the system. But I do think that, you know, the more they do that, some of these other franchises and the owners, you know, they may be against that. I definitely, this current collective bargaining agreement ends in December 26th. So we got 2 full years. And I think, you know, that's going to be a talking point there about the deferred money. I think that structure is going to change somehow. If there's really only one team that's taking advantage of it and you know, using it to build a powerhouse, you know, I just see things that could change. That could be a real sticking point come December in a couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, and I mean, to go along with that, I mean, it also seems that so many of the more key players are jumping ship and going from the American League to the National League. The National League is stacked right now. Have you guys ever? Do you guys remember a time when, even when you played, that one league was that much stronger on paper than the other? Because it just seems, you know, and again, as a Yankee fan, I mean, it's okay, that's great. I mean, Kyle Tucker's gone from the Astros, and you know, et cetera, et cetera. It makes it a little easier for them to get through. But I mean, do you see a disparity there? And can you think of a reason why guys are going to the NL? Is it because it's more competitive? Is it because the owners are just offering more money? And do you remember a time where it's been that big of a difference between the two leagues? Glendon, I'll start with you again.
I would guess 30 years ago, we probably looked at it as the American League was loaded offensively because the DHs were true DHs that were 30 home run, 100 RBI guys that slowly went downhill and left after that. And the other thing is, I know for brief stints I had in San Diego and Colorado, the NL, there's no better division to play in than the NL West.
Agreed.
As far as where you go on the road and what, those stadiums, those cities, I mean, San Diego, LA, San Fran, Arizona, and Colorado, there's pretty tough to beat those five. So, if guys are looking at quality of life and, subtract the tax part out of it from California, but if guys are looking at quality of life and they can pick anywhere they want, that division's pretty tough to beat.
Mm-hmm.
Bill?
Well, I think the only thing we could think back to the American League being so kind of dominant is kind of like what Blendon said, 30 years ago when the Yankees were doing what they were doing, and Boston was very, very good there in that run. I guess it's not quite 30 years ago now for their run, but I don't know why it is, but I agree with Glenn. Why wouldn't you want to go play out in those West Coast cities? I don't think that there's any reason other than maybe some of the cities are a little nicer than some of the other places, and maybe those are the teams that are willing to spend a little bit more money right now. The big surprise there with Arizona spending $210 million on Corbin Burns. Like, nobody would have really expected that. So I think that plays into it a little bit. People were wanting the Mets to go after Burns. I didn't think there was any chance that he was going to do that, so he did what he felt probably was best for his family, and also happened to be able to get a really nice paycheck out of it as well. So, but I've always been a National League guy. I prefer the National League game. Obviously the game's the same nowadays, so I'm not going to complain. I just want to see the National League actually start winning some All-Star games and stop losing the All-Star game every year. That's been something since I was a kid. It seems they can't pull the National League to win that All-Star game.
Yeah, I agree. Wayne, how about you, man?
Yeah, I mean, 30 years ago, the Braves were right in the middle of their thing. Then the Yankees came on, basically took over the 90s. I mean, they hijacked the 90s from the Braves. But with the whole DH thing, and I think it also becomes a little competition thing too. Like when that balance moves from one league to the other, when teams are winning, and then the pressure's on other teams to put a winner out there, and then they start getting bid for to get players. If they want to get the World Series bad enough, they'll put the money out there. There's a lot of factors that go into that. I don't think there's any secret to what's going on, but it comes down to competition. I think a lot of people.
Yeah. Rocco, how about you? I mean, you're the, more of a historian than I am. Can you picture a time that one league was that much stronger, aside from just when the AL had the DH?
Yogi Berra days.
Well,
when you had the Yankees in there and everything, and you look at the 70s, the teams were pretty even, I guess. The Pirates were great, the Big Red Machine in the NL, and the Orioles were great. On the American League side, Yankees, the A's were strong. I don't know. We'll see. It's I'd have to dig in and look at that as far as talent wise, how that goes. In the 80s, off the top of my head, seemed to be pretty balanced too. But I do agree. I think that the money's in the National League. You have the Dodgers, you have Cohen, and the Braves and Phillies. They spend money too.
And San Diego spent a lot of money.
San Diego spent a lot of money. The Cubs have a big if they are motivated too, they could spend money as well. So I think that's where the money is, and that's where the players are going.
Agreed.
I was going to mention one more, going back to when early in my career in Kansas City made me think of when we were talking about these teams who have potential for multiple franchise players, and then they just exit because they can't pay any of them. I mean, at one point our outfield was Johnny Damon, Jermaine Dye, and Carlos Beltran, three, perennial all-stars and, borderline Hall of Fame type players.
Mm-hmm.
And they kept Mike Sweeney as a franchise player who deserved it and was, and is a Royals Hall of Famer. But they should have kept those four guys together, but they didn't want to pay them, so they all ended up elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean,
and I believe all three of them won World Series.
Well, World Series champs, right? Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean, that reminds me of the Marlins outfield from a couple years ago. You had Stanton, you had Ozuna, and you had Yelich out there. Can't afford him.
Yeah.
And you had JT
Yep.
Realmuto behind the plate.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just
Yeah.
it's gotta be miserable to be a fan of that kind of team, man. I mean, just because you're setting yourself up for heartbreak. I mean, it's
Just as soon as you start liking somebody, they're going to be gone.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the epitome of rooting for the laundry. I mean, it's like, well, all right, it sucks. But it's a business. You always hear players, say it once they realize, it's a business. So what are you gonna do? But speaking of business, Juan Soto switched sides of town. Hey, for
Phil broke his presence.
Excuse me.
Trainer.
But yeah. So I mean, I want to know what you guys think. We'll go both. We'll go Mets and Yankees. So, what do you guys think? I mean, are the Mets done, or are they going to continue to try and build around it? Because I don't know about that pitching staff right now. So whoever wants to answer, you start. Whoever.
Go for it, Bill. You're the closest to the Mets.
All right, fair enough. I don't think they're done. I think that obviously they want to sign Pete back. I think I probably had to have told Soto that they were going to get some bats on either side of him. Obviously they'll have Lindor in front of him. He's got to have somebody behind him. I think Pete's market it was set a little bit with the guy that the first baseman with the Diamondback side.
Walker.
Walker set his market a little bit. Obviously, he probably deserves a little bit more. But I think that from the last that I heard, they offered him $30 million a year for 3 years, which, man, that's not that bad. $90 million over a 3-year period. But I think he's still thinking about that, the money that he turned down. I don't believe they're done. Obviously, I would have liked to have seen them take a flyer on Walker Buehler. I think Walker Buehler's healthy now, and I've always loved his competitiveness and loved his stuff. That might be the following year. I think the Yankees might actually got better by subtraction a little bit, because I think they've had a pretty good offseason when it comes to what they've done with their signings and that. With Soto, man, that's a long contract. I don't see him actually being a Met in 15 years, to be honest with you, and I have a hard time thinking about a 41-year-old player, especially sans steroid era, do that for $50 million, $55 million. My goodness. I mean, look, I'm happy that they have a perennial all-star, a potential Hall of Famer. Obviously they're going to have to do some more adding on to battle again this year. I think they're going to be good, but I think I'm happy for Minaya. I think Minaya is a very good, solid 2 or 3. I don't think he's a 1, and I don't like to shit on guys that are playing right now or anything, but I think that they need to get a little bit better. Hopefully another starting pitcher. I didn't think Burns was ever going to do business with Stearns again after what happened in Milwaukee with his arbitration and all that. I've had to talk to many Mets fans this winter about that. Like, there's no way he's doing business with that guy. Us baseball players, we're very prideful guys, and once somebody sticks it in our ass once, we're probably, not going to deal with you anymore. So that wasn't a surprise to me. But I think they're going to be competitive. I think the Yankees are, like we said, the American League's down probably a little bit. I think it's competitive, but I think it's down relative to the National League. I think the Yankees are got a really good chance of being right there again. Obviously, I think with the how difficult the National League is going to be, just to get out of the National League East is going to be difficult, and to make the wild card, there's so many teams are going to be vying for it. But I think the Mets will be competitive again.
Agreed. Glendon.
I love Soto going to the Mets. I really, really hope they bring Pete back. I would love to see Pete be back with the Mets. That would make me really happy, because I probably follow them and the Cubs the most out of my former teams, and would love to see that. But as far as I agree on the Yankees front. I think they've done a really good job this offseason. They are absolutely better than they were, I think, even last year, being a World Series team. So they're going to be good. But yeah, I would love to see another arm too for the Mets, if depending on what they can do. But
I think Clay Holmes is going to be all right.
Yeah, no, he's really
I think
good.
his
Yeah,
stuff
but
plays.
you know, that transition is always hard,
stuff.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, but he was a starter in the minor
Yeah.
leagues. I'm hearing he made a bunch of starts in the minor leagues. He's done it. He's done it.
Yeah.
He made, I believe, 7 starts with the Pirates early in his career.
But he came up through the minor leagues as a starting pitcher, correct?
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah,
But,
I believe so.
I know that his
And look,
early
you're
few
allowed to
starts
give
did
up
not
some
go
dink
so
hits
well,
and
but-
some soft contact during as a starter. As a closer, you really can't give up those soft contact hits because the game's on the fucking line right then. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're right.
He can pitch around some of that stuff as a starter.
Yeah,
True.
You're right. Rocco, as the resident Mets fan, Soto, Yankees Plan B. Where you sit with this?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with what everybody said. Obviously, they love Soto there, and it just from the start seemed like that's who Cohen wanted. He was gonna have him, especially if Soto was going for that last dollar, and then every perk you could possibly add there.
Yeah.
They definitely need some work, I think, in the rotation. I think Stearns is going to use that same roadmap he used last year. You know, he signed Minaya, Severino, took chances on guys. He gives them, little chances here and there, and he'll DFA you real quick if you're not up to snuff, and give it a shot with somebody else. I don't know that you look at their pitching. Dodgers are looking at, they're 3 and the 4 guys in their rotation, and that's what the Mets have to do is build a team to compete with the Dodgers in the postseason.
Tanner Scott, go get him.
Yeah, and the Dodgers are sitting there with Glass now and probably Shohei if he pitches. You start looking at the postseason; those guys are the 3 and 4 men in the rotation, and the Mets are Peterson, Montas, Holmes. It's just the
Not the
Mets.
same.
I think not the same. And I agree. I love Minaya what he did last year, but there's question marks. Is he really the ace? Can Senga stay healthy? Can Peterson continue? Build on last year. And then they got to straighten out the infield too. What happens with Pete Bregman? So Luis Arraez name pop up in some trade rumors. And maybe Padres are looking to slash some payroll. Maybe the Mets could take on a couple guys from that team if they need to. So they're not done by a long shot. I think the Mets will build a team that be competitive, and then once the season starts, add pieces from there. Be aggressive and build your team from there. I think from what I've seen from Stearns, he's like would rather add pitching during the season as it's going. Somebody that's showing that they're healthy, having a good year, doing well, and projecting, rather than signing somebody in the offseason and then keeping your fingers crossed that he lasts the full, goes out and makes 30-something starts. That's my Mets take. Yanks, I agree. I won't go into too much and get into talking here, but I think they did a great job with the rotation. I like Fried. I love the closer they picked up from Milwaukee, as long as his head's not all messed up from Pete.
Might be good to get him out of get him out of there. Might be good.
Yeah, change. Probably best. Yeah, probably best for him too. So they did a great job, I think, and a lot more to happen in the next couple months.
Absolutely. Wayne, now you are along with me the resident Yankee fan here. So if you want to go into the Yankees Plan B, and if you want to talk about Soto at all too, by all means, go for it.
I mean, I think both teams got better. I think the Mets definitely got better because they got their real guy. I mean,
white whale.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what I would call it. But the Yankees, I think, became more well-rounded in this offseason. Yeah. I mean, they're kind of loaded up all over the place, and especially with the pitching. Hey, if you can't score runs, you may as well prevent them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think they both got better. I think they both did a great job.
I agree, and I mean I know there's a lot of time left. I would love to see, the Yankees get another lefty bat. Whether it's
I was hoping they got Bregman. I was wanting to go after Bregman.
I don't know if they're going to spend that money. I mean, I would take Bregman in a heartbeat because I would love an actual third baseman.
Yeah,
and he's a hell of a player. It's just fan base might not be real happy about that, but they'll get over about it.
They get over it. Exactly. If I got over,
I've always loved him.
If I got over hating Roger Clemens, they can get over freaking,
That's fair enough. Right. That's fair enough.
Yeah. I'm not too worried about that. But I agree. I mean, the depth was needed for the Yankees. I like the Bellinger signing. I think that lefty swing is going to work well. He can play out in center field. He can play first base.
What I think is going to be interesting about Bellinger is because he's kind of changed his approach after the last 2 years.
after that
You
shoulder.
get him in Yankee Stadium, and I think his
Yeah.
shoulder had a big issue for the 2 years before the last 2 years, where he's kind of came around a little bit.
Yeah.
His home run numbers are down. I want to see what happens when he gets into that ballpark to see if he kind of changes his approach again and starts trying to launch a lot. I've always liked him as a ball player. I hope he does well. I just don't want to see him get in that ballpark and turn into a strikeout machine again, trying to hit 40, 50 home runs. Because it's got to be, you got to be licking your chops as a left-handed hitter when you get in that stadium and see that hole down there.
Tough not to go for it, right?
Yeah, it's hard not to take a swing for it, you know?
Yeah. And Dominguez, and the Yankees still don't know what. I mean, Dominguez could be a star.
Yeah, I would hope so.
You may not be talking about Juan Soto if this kid turns out to be what he showed.
He could be, Juan Soto Jr. If
kind of same thing with Mauricio with the Mets. You don't know, you still don't know yet. You know, he got hurt, and he's a super, phenom prospect. It'd be nice to see what those two young men can do once they get up there and can play healthy for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was going to say that this would be the part where we do the Secret Southpaw gifts, but I still don't know where the hell Will is.
Let's do it.
You want to do it anyway?
Oh yeah,
We did it without Glendon last year, but
yeah,
we did.
That's true. That's true. So
where the hell is this guy?
Did he go? Yes.
I sent him a text if he's awake, and I got nothing. So we shall see. Maybe he.
That's really late.
You want me to go first?
Why not?
I got it right here. It's already cut open. It's ready to go. I'm pretty sure I know who it's from. Oh boy. Oh boy.
It's not Ravens. That's not Baltimore Ravens. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh. Oh man.
That
Did I
is
get it?
awesome.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
28. There it is.
Does that mean I have to
There you
go to
go.
the cage now?
Book it.
Get yourself a paddle.
Cargo shorts.
Very nicely
Oh.
done, Chris. Thank you. That is-
You're welcome.
that's
You're welcome.
excellent.
You're welcome. I had to do it. I just had to do it.
I'm going to
so
the
I guess let's-
cages tomorrow.
Just tuck that polo into those sweatpants, and you're good to go. Yeah, and do that. Oh God!
Oh my gosh,
Blew my
that's
get it
elbow
going.
out trying that. Jesus,
Oh,
it hurts.
so
Oh,
good.
God. Well, let's just go around. Bill, how about you?
All
you
right.
next.
I must have been a very good boy this year because apparently I got two. I
Oh,
got two
wow.
gifts. And I broke out a pair of scissors to do this. I'll let you know
Okay.
my thumb already hurts because they are not left-handed scissors.
Those are trainer scissors. Those are big time.
They don't
This
have
is the real
they
deal.
don't have the green finger things.
That's
That's how you know they're left-handed.
those are trainer scissors.
Yes. All right.
Moving back.
Gift number one.
Is it lingerie?
I think that comes later. Hold on.
Our announcer in Lake Elsinore, when I coached there, would always, when he announced our trainer, he would always say he had the sharpest scissors in the league. It was so good. So good.
Hang with me, boys. Hang with
Shout
me.
out to Joe Martinez. Joe Mar, you're out there somewhere.
Good Lord. What do we got going on here? Sorry, guys.
Don't get your face too close.
Oh my.
Oh man.
Oh my. Oh, that is fucking great.
Rape it in velvet. Rape it
Oh
in
my
velvet.
god.
That is
is-
great.
Hey, the ass man's in town.
Yeah.
I got a feeling I know who this came from too, Wayne.
Hey, did they pay your tabs too?
Yeah. All right. Gift
I wish
number
I would have
two.
bought that. I wish I would have bought the ass man.
I don't know who did it.
I don't know.
It wasn't me, so it's got to be one of these guys.
Have you figured it out yet?
If it's not you, then I'm staring hard at Rocco right now. Hold on.
Rocco's pretty clever.
Yeah, that's
This
it.
is a miniature
Oh, God.
coffee table book of coffee tables.
Yes. Oh, my God.
Festivus miracle.
It is.
Very nice. Rocco, this is you?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Excellent.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
And it was supposed to be
Yeah.
packed together, I guess, but they sent it. I guess one came from China, maybe the other one from Libya, whatever.
well played. Well played.
Nicely done.
Well, we'll go around the horn. Wayne, you're up.
Okay. I kind of opened this box already, so I didn't have to go through the whole process. Interesting. Well, at least there's no tricks. So this is a Ultimate History Buff Challenge. Who would have done that?
Well, I figured as the resident Cliff Clavin, you're gonna have some more information that you can drop on us through the text thread through that.
That was my
right
major.
there.
That was
That's
my
nice.
major.
There you go.
I thought it was a very thoughtful gift. I know you're.
Oh, is that you, Bill?
That was me.
Awesome. It is. I do love this stuff.
I think I figured you would. As soon
Yes,
as I
my
saw
wife.
it, I'm like, oh man, I feel like that nails Wayne right on the head.
I watch Jeopardy religiously.
There you
No
go.
lie. No
I-
lie.
We know you know a lot, a lot more than us. A lot
Oh,
more than me.
That's
Fine,
true.
not true.
Well, speaking of Jeopardy,
That's a
we'll
great
move
one.
right
Thank you.
along. That is awesome. Speaking of Jeopardy, we will move right along to Rocco, who
That's great.
were you almost on Jeopardy? Like, did something happen?
Yeah, Sports Jeopardy. I made it. I passed the online test, then went to the in-person and passed the written test.
Oh,
Then went to the in-person rehearsal where you actually play the game and do all that kind of stuff. And never got the call after that.
Well, you should have kept your pants on.
That's where it went wrong. All right, let's see what we got here. All right. And I got brand new scissors. My sister got me this, among other things, for Christmas. And
Look at that.
solid.
What are those
was
Fiskars?
visiting- I don't know, but they're not working as well as they should. First time out of the
Fiskars
package.
makes a
Oh,
fine
he's
scissor.
like jabbing it and everything.
What do we got? Oh, Jesus Christ. Can we show this? Is this a family show?
What's
that, a
that?
pillow?
What's it?
Yeah, I'll unwrap the vacuum seal, but that's what we got. Oh, that's horrifying.
Open it up. What is that? A pillow?
Yeah, it looks like a pillow.
It's airtight.
Oh,
It is. It's a
God.
vacuum
Oh,
seal.
shit.
Oh,
Fluff it up. Fluff it up.
there we go. Yep. It's
There it comes.
Oh my!
Oh, God.
absolutely horrifying. Thank you.
Oh.
And it'll be on full display somewhere, but definitely not in my office, but somewhere around here, that's for sure.
I feel so non-creative in my gift this year. I'm
Who's your
feeling
Secret Santa?
terrible.
Is that from
I
Will?
was.
Is this the Will? That might be-
I have Will, but I got Will like
Oh,
kind
alright.
of a normal gift, you know. But you guys were, man, you guys knocked it out of the park.
Oh,
Rocco,
man.
that's
Well,
for me, man.
Is it? Oh, fantastic.
That is
Is it
outstanding.
Payback from the Maryland Speedo from last year that I sent
Yeah,
you.
I've tried to wear this 4 or 5 times, man.
Awesome.
Well, I guess I'm up, and I mean it's this one came from Arizona, and Will forgot to take his name off of the.
See, I did that
Return
last
address.
year. I made sure I
So,
didn't screw it up
yeah.
this year.
Yeah,
Uh,
he forgot to
I-
bookmark. He forgot to bookmark the show too.
Yeah, I mean he's been one of the most vocal about getting this thing done, and then he doesn't show,
Yeah,
But
and he kind of needs to show for this.
All right, well here we go. I have a Ziploc bag with what? Oh, it's a Cubs jersey.
Oh, that's
Oh.
cool.
Oh boy.
Oh, crap.
Uh-oh. I don't know what I thought was a dildo.
A what?
I
There's
do.
still no,
I
there's
know
still
what it
something
is.
in there that feels like a dildo.
Is it a
I know.
jersey?
I'm not gonna look at anything yet.
nice.
Ooh.
I can't imagine what the back of it says.
It's a
Oh. Interesting.
yeah, it's a lucky 13.
He stole Neffy Perez's game or BP top from 2005.
This is great. This is fucking great. Thank you, Will.
That's great.
It's kind of
Wow, that's a really good gift.
yeah. This is
That's really solid.
Yeah,
Was that
and,
a? Is that a?
wow.
What brand is that?
that's majestic.
Is-
Majestic,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, majestic.
Very nice. Very nice.
Who was 13?
I swear to God, Nephi
Dan
Perez
Marino.
was 13 when I was there.
Dan Marino?
Yeah, him too. Yeah.
Dan Marino. Yes, it's a Dan Marino Cubs jersey. That's fucking great.
It's a great jersey.
Rocco.
Oh, I know.
Rocco,
what
who was number? Who was
What else is in there?
who was number 13 in like 04, 05, 06?
For the Cubs?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
What?
the turd on a rope soap.
There you go.
All right. Yeah. Now we're talking. This thing looks like it went bad a little bit.
Watch
That's,
Coach,
Will's,
that's
that's
the-
Will's gift from last year, isn't it?
It has corn in it. Did you?
Glendon, you missed that last year. That was what I gave Will last year.
Yeah.
Well, that's right.
And he
That's
Remember
right.
last year?
Right.
Hey, remember last year I got the old person butt wiper, like a little like brush you stick back there.
Yeah. Little brush with
Incredible.
a 90-degree on it so you can get back there.
Someday that will come in handy.
Oh yeah.
Like it's got exfoliating corn in there.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, it's like Caddyshack but on a rope.
I think I kind of like
Oh.
that he sent that to you because now it's kind of a tradition that somebody's going to get the
Somebody's gonna get the
turd sent to him.
Yeah, that is good.
I love it. He told
Watch
me about
with
it a
the
few
first.
weeks ago after you told him about the Christmas
dildos. Yeah,
from
you
our
can-
spread. You know? So I knew all about it. I couldn't wait.
Well, that's awesome, and luckily it smells like soap, so that's a plus. Well, shit. I mean, I wish we had Will here. We're gonna have to do one where Will opens it.
Mhm.
Opens his. But
Just hope he's all right. I mean,
Yeah, I hope he's all right at this point.
yeah,
I just hope he's
yes,
all right.
yes.
Seriously.
Well, yes,
that's my
yeah,
first thought. Is
yeah,
like, yeah, is he okay?
yeah, proof of life would be nice, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Arizona traffic sucks, so maybe he's just stuck in his car somewhere. Let's hope, or asleep. I mean,
Yeah, we nap.
the Broncos are on. Maybe
We
he's
are
watching
getting
the
old.
Broncos.
Napping is nice.
Yeah, yeah. I told you, you guys have aged, as have I. But listen, let's go around real quick. We'll do a way too early prediction for everybody, and then we'll get everybody on their way out of here to go watch another football game. Who's playing tonight? I don't even know.
Nor do I.
Is there a game tonight?
Yeah, there's
Gotta be.
Yeah. Well, either way, we'll get out of here and we'll watch some football. But we'll go around the horn. Glendon, way too early prediction for the 1925 for the 2025 season.
Well, tonight is the Vikings and the Lions.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's
Oh
right.
shit!
That's right.
All right,
First
yeah.
time
Let's
since
get
the
the hell
first
out
time.
of here.
Yeah.
That's right.
Good
First
game
time
That's
tonight.
right. I
17 with
forgot.
14 wins.
Totally forgot. Oh yeah, let's get the hell out of here. So quick, way
Yeah.
too early prediction.
Way too early prediction. I gotta go Mets, man. I want the Mets in the World Series. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go sleeper team in the NL as well this year is gonna go deep is the Padres.
I like their pitching.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like their
like it.
pitching.
I like it. Mr. Ribs.
I
Way too
wrote
early
down a whole
prediction.
bunch of stuff here, but we're getting towards the end, so I'm not going to go over it much. I think Boston's done a lot to get better. I think the American League East is going to be a difficult conference division to get through. NL East is going to be another battle. I want me as well, obviously, as a Mets guy. I want to see the Mets in the World Series and win a World Series, but I would not be surprised if we see a rematch of last year with Dodgers Yankees again.
Mhm.
Right on.
That's my early prediction. I hope I'm wrong.
I'll take it. Wayne.
Phew. I haven't even put any thought into this, but man,
Wayne.
I think the Yankees have gotten good enough again in the offseason. I think they can easily win the East, the American League East. I don't think anybody should really be there with them. It's fun watching Detroit last year do what they did. AJ Hinch, tip of the cap to that guy. What a great job he's doing there. Wow, when is Seattle going to wake up and do something?
Mhm.
So I mean, let's just that'll be my little way too soon prediction. Seattle's going to make a move, make a run this year in the playoffs.
They're going to make a move to trade Castillo to the Stems. That's what they're going to do.
There you go.
All
I
right.
think Seattle's going to do something this year. They're going to make a little bit of noise this year.
All right. Rocco, how about you?
All right, my way too early prediction is the Mets win the Sasaki sweepstakes
Ooh.
and then trade for Jacob deGrom at the trade deadline
Yeah.
and win that National League East with Pete Alonso and then win the National League. So there's my early prediction, crazy
Love it.
prediction.
That's
And
a
I'm
good
gonna
prediction.
it's just with it being a little different. I'm gonna go with the Orioles. Thought they
Damn
were
it,
a little
Rocco.
disappointing in the oh no, did I take that from a little disappointing in the postseason last year, but they matured and they have that talent there too. I want again we'll be interested to see what the Royals do. If Bobby Witt keeps getting better, man,
Oh,
that'll be such an exciting team to watch too there. So it's pretty wide open. I mean, obviously Yankees, Mets. Actually, I looked at the odds. Dodgers are 3-1 to win the World Series now. Big favorites.
that is big. 3-1.
Braves, yeah, 3-1's huge, and then the next
Yep.
three are the Braves, Yankees, and Mets at 9-1. So that's a huge favorite there. But then after that, I think there's a lot of interesting teams. So Diamondbacks, they might be a little interesting too to watch. And
In the weeds. They're laying back in the weeds a little bit.
Yeah, I
aren't
tell you, I took a look
Yeah.
at the standings last year and how it all played out. There's a lot of it's going to be competitive, man. I think it's going to be very competitive.
yeah,
Well, all right. I do not have
Chris?
a way too early prediction.
you got to make one.
Well, I know.
Yeah,
I was
tell 'em,
listening to
Rocco.
yours. All right.
they? Uh-oh.
The Texas
there
Rangers
he is.
make some noise again this year.
I think the Rangers are going to be
I
better
think the
this year too.
Rangers are going to be better. I think, I mean, getting Evaldi back, I think was huge. I was kind of hoping he signed with the Yankees again, but I mean, I've always liked Evaldi. But I think they're gonna make some noise. Again, I mean, you got Bruce Bochy as manager. You got Mike Maddox as the pitching coach. You got the young kids and Jack Leiter and Kumar Rocker. Who the hell knows what Kumar Rocker is going to be? But the Vandy boys there. So I think they're going to quietly make some noise. I don't know if they're going to win. Win the American League, but I think they're going to be in the mix a lot more than people expect.
They had a little World Series hangover maybe a little bit last year. I expect them to bounce back a little bit too.
Some injuries happened, and so I think they're going to bounce back. And like I said,
But that doesn't bode well for the Stems getting DeGrom come.
I mean, well, we got to see how healthy he is too. But I mean, if he's healthy and gives you a Jacob deGrom season, I mean,
he looked pretty good. He looked pretty good there at the what do you make 2 starts at the end of the year?
I mean, he's still Jacob deGrom, but we'll see how healthy.
It's more fun with Jacob deGrom in it.
Baseball is way more fun with Jacob
really
DeGrom.
is. Really
way
is.
more fun.
Really
Yeah,
is. So now let's go to Ombudsman Jones here to tell us what we fucked up. Rocco, this is you. So then we can go watch some football.
All right, we've got a few things here. No
Take us
mess ups, but just some embellishments. I guess Christian Walker was a 3-year, $60 million contract. So Bill's right about Pete, wherever he signs, probably be a step ahead of
Well,
that.
I heard he was offered 3 years, 90 as well. So that's
it's
quite a bit more.
Yeah, on the table there. DeGrom was 3 starts last year, 10 innings, 14 strikeouts. He was his old DeGrom. He only gave up 1.69. So he was his old self. Yeah.
It's terrible.
From 1983 to 2000, the World Series was pretty much dominated by the American League. That was one stretch where we talked about over that time. It was AL won 12 out of the 5 World Series, and they were probably Mookie Wilson grounder away from 13-4. And then the All-Star game, All-Star game we mentioned too. AL has won 10 out of the last 11. And 22 out of the last 26. Pretty crazy.
Really
insane there. Yeah, absolutely insane. And then we got the number 13 Cubs jersey. I guess it's pick your own jersey. In 2004, it was Jose Macias. And then you also had you could choose from Larry Boa or Tony Womack. Could be a Lance Johnson, Doug Glanville.
One dog.
Yeah,
awesome, man.
Jose Cardinal, if you want to go with the Afro route there. So you got some guys to choose from. Richie Ashburn wore it with the Cubs too. So
awesome. All right.
There you go.
I can dig it. Well, thank you, Rocco. And gentlemen, thank you very much. And once again, we missed Will, but we'll get him on there. And it's turd in a bag. the ass man.
Rocco, you are the ass man.
Oh, yeah, right. How
Oh,
convenient that was. My gosh.
oh man, I'm
Between
voting for
between the
Glendon
turd,
and,
the ass
Dick
man,
Slap.
and the pillow, we got a lot of butts going on.
Right? And no dildos were even sent out. Nobody got
No
a Christmas
Christmas
dildo.
dildos.
Yeah, well, there's always next year for the Christmas dildos, but
Now
I gotta
can't
get
wait
out
to
of
see
here,
who gets
boys.
the-
yeah,
I'm on my
for
way to
these
the
Christmas
cage.
dildos,
Take care.
we'll see you guys next time. This has been Southpaw, and gentlemen, thank you so much. Get to the cage, do some snapping,
Snap it.
and we'll catch you next time.
See you guys.
Take care, guys.
All right, boys. Enjoy.
All right,
Thanks, Chris.
later.
Later, skater.